Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far with FormaL's new team potentially just around the corner on the Halo front. SlasheR very frustrated indeed with the state of spawns, calling them unacceptable in this title, saying that since Modern Warfare, we should have just gone back to play an older Call of Duty title. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, it's the best thing you can do. Tell the channel reach new people, please do subscribe as well, if you have not yet already. First of all, this from Kenny, true but I'm built different. Thought this was pretty funny to be honest. Why doesn't make you better at the game. We know that Kenny, like, whenever you go to this guy's POV, he's just running around, pressing triangle, Y, whatever, changing his weapon back and forth. Pretty sure maybe it was Octane who said recently if they had, like, kind of a weapon inspect feature into the game, that's not going to be great for Kenny. This is always an interesting one to me, because it feels like, you know, Kenny's doing this as a matter of habit, obviously, the YYing type stuff. It does occasionally catch him out in a gunfight, where someone comes around the corner, and he's, like, not ready, right, because he doesn't even have his weapon ready. I remember big time, he used to be a big player that would do this back in the day, the constant YYing. Like, you know, to be fair, I guess it keeps your maybe thumbs warm or something, but still, like, surely you're keeping your thumbs warm anyway by actually just playing the game normally rather than doing this as kind of matter of habit. So it is interesting. Like, I do wonder if, like, Jake or something would say to Kenny, look, maybe we should, like, somehow work on you getting off this, like, habit thing, because it's probably going to cost you crucial gunfights this season. Maybe it wins you more though because you're more warmed up. I don't really know, but if you ever watch Kenny's POV, you'll know exactly what I mean here. I thought this was interesting regardless. This also then, let's talk about Halo real quick, because FormaL has been, well, he's competing still for Sentinels right now. This was his last day yesterday, competing on, like, the fourth, whatever it is, like the Pro Series or something they're doing on the Halo front. So Sentinels with, of course, with no Royal 2 at the present time. They had Frosty, Snakebite, and Lethal, of course. FormaL's been there for quite some time now. They were at the Anaheim event with them. They came top 4. They beat OpTic, of course, in that tournament, which is kind of insane. Now, there has been some talk. Where's FormaL going to go next? What's he going to do? There was, of course, some talk in this tournament, because as Dashy says right here, Matt has S-tier com chief, bro, is a verbal VSAT. I thought it was quite the statement, really. Like, yeah, just crazy watching FormaL. We heard a lot of talk about this last year, right, when he was on the OpTic Chicago squad, that, yeah, this guy's comms were just so good. Super calm, super, you know, great, like, I guess, small talk and stuff. We heard a lot of this talk about really accuracy and what he was bringing to Seattle Surge this past weekend as well. I was really impressed with their communication, that, it wasn't just, like, frantic call-outs, like, okay, he's there. Like, it was all like, okay, I've spawned here, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna pick up this, can you pick up this? Like, all this type of stuff, which is just fantastic. FormaL's great at that, and great at keeping, like, well, a calm-minded on things. And of course, that's pretty important in Halo when there's you know, there's no UAV, right? Not UAV, but there's no minimap, right, in competitive Halo, so you can't see where the other enemies are with the red dots on the minimap. So of course you need better communication. FormaL's pretty good at that. So definitely, I wonder if some teams will consider picking this guy up. I mean, I'm sure teams are going to consider picking this guy up, but I wonder which team he might potentially get picked up too, because Cloud9 again have won the Pro Series. These guys have been dominating the online tourneys. They also won the first major, right, at Raleigh, and then Anaheim is coming up quite soon. So I'm pretty sure, yes, it was today or yesterday or something, where Royal 2's ban officially ended for the kind of geo-filtering thing that we talked about way back in maybe early December, end of November sometime. So that means Royal 2's coming back into Sentinels, and FormaL needs to find himself another team. So as he describes right, they came up short in the finals against C9. GG to them. After Anaheim, any teams that want to make something happen, let's do it. It was a pleasure playing it with the Sentinels boys. So not sure FormaL's going to be playing in Anaheim, but afterwards he reckons, according to this clip at least that I'll share for you guys right now, that if Cloud9 win again, or at least they're very competitive, then it's kind of likely that some top teams will make some serious moves, and FormaL might find himself on a roster.
You're going to see Snakebite pop off again with the double. He's looking for the triple kill. We need to see some more overkills this tournament.
I think I'll have a perma spot after this.
Do it with the sniper rifle. It's going to be Snakebite.
After this next event? Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of teams are like okay with Cloud9 winning because it's only been like one event, right? But like if Cloud9 wins the next event, I think a lot of team changes will happen. It'll be like a little shuffle, see who can beat them. Who knows? They might just choke. That was so trolly.
I was praying for that.
Some have been wondering, like, why FormaL doesn't just join the regular OpTic team, right? If they do decide to make some changes, he's in the same building as those OpTic guys, right? He's been practicing with Sentinels while the OpTic guys are kind of behind him, also playing on their own stations. So, well, maybe that's something that happens as well. The FormaL finds himself actually on the OpTic Halo roster at some point if they decide to make some moves, if they can't compete with Cloud9, as it seems nobody really can at the present time. Let's dive into some issues with Vanguard then. Of course, we wouldn't go a day without some problems being discussed. So as SlasheR talks about right here, so about that buddy spawner fix for Vanguard, Vanguard, I didn't forget about that promise for the second time. This was talked about back in Modern Warfare, right? The start of the game, the squad spawns, it was pretty much the first time we'd seen them, and the pros were getting told behind the scenes that before the first event of the season, or like, you know, January sometime, there was going to be a major update that was going to change the spawn system and make things play a lot different for hardpoints. Of course, we saw kind of the impact of this, especially in 5v5 in that game. It did not make the game as pretty as it could be, and that was one of the reasons why some would argue that SlasheR's team and OpTic in Los Angeles and LAG as well, they'd kind of made up their mind that they weren't going to practice the game all that much because the spawns were going to change. They kind of got promised that. Of course, it didn't happen, right? So the teams that ended up grinding the game a little bit more early on then carried more an advantage into the rest of the year and that made less roster changes, all this type of stuff. So they were told again recently in Vanguard, I believe, in December sometime, that in January there was going to be a major update changing the spawns, going to really help out Control, going to help out the other modes as well, and apparently he reckons this kind of buddy system spawn fix, which I guess is somewhat similar to squad spawns, which we kind of have squad spawns in this game. I think there was an exclusive Ace video that came out yesterday that kind of said, yes, it's squad spawns to a degree, but often it's just people that spawn behind you. It's kind of weird. So still, they were saying they were going to update the spawns, and SlasheR's like, look, I didn't forget about that promise for the second time because it does not seem to have happened. So for example, this clip right here on Tuscan, where you know, who even knows what's happening anymore, right, with this player just spawning right in the hardpoint, straight on top of this guy. Like, where does number 5 come from right here? Why is he spawning in this corner right behind number 4? Like, I just simply don't understand how that's impossible. So just some cracking stuff in this game. And well, as SlasheR says, I am in awe. Should have put a stop to it when Modern Warfare was released and played an old game. It is unacceptable. So SlasheR reckons, like, the spawns are just so bad. Like, when Modern Warfare came out, we should have just said, you know, screw Modern Warfare, let's go back to an older Call of Duty title. Of course, have a look. The reality is that's never going to happen, I'm afraid, because, well, the way the CDL works, I guess, is kind of a marketing tool for Activision to sell more of their new game. So they're, of course, going to always have the pros playing their latest Call of Duty title until maybe at some point or another, when, you know, Microsoft, of course, is going to come in, right, to make the acquisition. Maybe they change their mind at some point and have, like, a dedicated competitive Call of Duty title at some point or another. Not holding out too much hope for that in the future, but it's not something you can necessarily completely rule out, and that maybe it'll stop some of the spawns like this. I don't know, but even in new Call of Duties, they seem to like this new spawn system. I don't really know why. It wasn't, of course, in Trek's game last year. Those were kind of traditional spawns that actually made sense. So, yeah, still lots of frustrations, and well, as Clayster says right here, I honestly didn't even notice any changes. So that big update did drop right in January that changed some things about Control, apparently, and made it slightly better, even though when the pros played it, they kind of realized, is there something actually really changed here? Like, it's difficult to say how much actually changed when that big update did arrive, what they were going to call a big update, and that was meant to contain all these kind of spawn updates and changes, and as SlasheR says, yeah, there wasn't any, right? So they were saying that they were going to do all these moves in terms of spawns and stuff and make things better, but nothing has actually changed in reality. So yes, again, frustrations with the pro players, can honestly understand it, frankly. This also, there was some talk from Cammy about, you know, the tick rate of the private match deadies, because this has been a big discussion in the last couple of years, like, how good actually are these private match servers in terms of how, you know, what is the tick rate? Is it 60 hertz? Because we believe, I think, when they play on LAN, they play on, like, their own servers, that maybe 60 hertz, because I think in Modern Warfare this was first discussed, where they have different servers that they practice on to the ones they play on in the official matches, and, like, spawns were different on the different tick rates. So there was some talk that maybe it's 30 hertz in this game, which in fairness is higher than it has been in the past. I'm pretty sure Infinite Warfare in the first half of that game, before they upgraded it to 30 hertz, was like a 10 hertz server. They were just completely tragic, but I guess it saved costs maybe at the end of the day. This also from Zaptius, I thought it was hilarious. Clayster found this funny. There was, speaking of spawns really, here comes, well, Centaur on this Tuscan hardpoint, and he gets killed by Juju, which may be the same Juju as Infinite Warfare. Juju who got turned on by Priestahh. Some of you OGs will certainly remember that one on, what was it, Throwback Search and Destroy, maybe it was Champs or something, but I mean, yeah, and basically he says, like, okay, yeah, nice one giving us spawns for next, and then they spawn old anyway, so I thought this was hilarious. I'll share this for you guys just as the video ends, and yeah, you gotta stop saying it before you spawn out. Didn't you do this in Modern Warfare 2? Yeah, it's straight up unacceptable out of me. Speaking of New York, I did want to mention this real quick. It's a big topic of, well, controversy really in the Call of Duty community as of late, has been stuff like this, right, NFTs coming through, so I'm pretty sure the Subliners have been working on this for quite some time, but as they say, introducing New York NFTs, the hottest moments from our 2021 season, so I'm pretty sure, like, I don't really know how this works, like, don't call me an expert, right, because I'm certainly not on, like, NFTs in this kind of new media type space, but it seems like a lot of these organizations have certainly been jumping on the bandwagon, right, in this sense, and you can't really blame them in a way, like, they're not forcing anyone to buy it, and still, like, a lot of these organizations, they struggle to make money as it is, so I guess it makes sense that they might go down a route like this, but you know, not the greatest connotations right now around crypto and NFTs and kind of the scams that have happened, and right, and some of the dodgy actors in the space doesn't always look ideal, and you know, I'm probably of the belief that maybe this, you know, it's an interesting technology. I think maybe there's going to be 1% of the things that we see right now that are actually valuable in, you know, 5-10 years time. Probably 99% 100% are completely worthless in a few years. So whether this is one of the ones that stay valuable, I don't know. Maybe there's some cool projects they can do with this. But still, just anytime someone mentions NFTs, they're going to get roasted in the comments. That's just how it goes right now. So intrigued to hear your thoughts really on this one, because I'm not really sure what to think, to be honest. I just think, right now it's tough enough for these organizations to make money. So I think it's kind of understandable exploring other revenue opportunities such as this. But, it's not always going to get the best rep from the community. That's just kind of how things are at the present time. This also from Clayster, right? Because we talked about this yesterday. The fact that, art of execution, these kind of teams. Just looking at this gives me, nostalgia vibes, to be honest. Look at this. Wayback Machine is way too fun. The art of execution, even Clayster's here right along the side of the same team as Clayster. So just some legendary players, like at the old game battles type page that this used to look like. Just so, good times, to be honest, in Call of Duty history. And just to finish out with this before I share that Doug clip, top 20 COD Pro YouTube views, made channels only. This, I guess, maybe to some degree, just goes to show how crazy it was on YouTube a few years ago, where just anyone could get views playing just regular Call of Duty multiplayer. Nowadays, there's just no way if someone else comes along that they're going to be able to achieve views like this. I don't know where I would sit on this list, actually. I think I might be 9th or something, which I guess isn't too bad. But Scump's up here with 618 million total views. Nadeshot's just behind. That doesn't even include, I'm pretty sure, Nadeshot's second channel, because he got a load of views on that channel, right, from playing the Road to 100 No Right series with Embos and stuff. Embos even is 6th, right, with 67.5 mil, despite not having uploaded in ages. Crim's here as well, like Big T, what a legend. Sharp as well here at number 7. So pretty incredible, really, that all these guys had so many views. A lot of these guys are super OGs and will stay here for quite some time, because, the ability to get views on YouTube playing Call of Duty just, I guess, isn't quite what it used to be unless it's Warzone, right? And things, of course, have changed over time. So very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit a like button. Tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I'd just like you to see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Plat on you, Juju.
One shot.
You did?
Nice. Juju's there. He was really weak.
Middle pro Mar, one shot. He went.
Okay,
one.
Juju,
Nice.
like,
chilling. I'm
congratulations.
going
You want
in.
a biscuit? You just flipped us, you
Might be in the back.
How did we not?
Yeah,
I'm losing.